Hope everything's working. Good afternoon, folks. I am Sean in Alaska. It is awesome to have you here today. I hope you are all doing fantastic. Let me get the little banner started. So we'll get that going first. So basically, welcome all. Sunrise today was at 8:33 a.m. Sunset will be at 7:55 p.m. for a total of 11 hours and 22 minutes of daylight. Yes, we're getting longer days much quicker. We increased our daylight by 39 minutes over last week, and we're gaining 5 minutes and 35 seconds of sunlight per day. We top out right at about 18 hours of, it might be a little bit more than that. It was July 18th is going to be our longest day of the year this year. And I'm trying to think of if I read that right. Basically, it's like 18 hours of daylight, only 6 hours of darkness, but it's not really darkness because we lose um, the maritime sunset. The sun actually doesn't set. It just gets down real low on the horizon for that period of time. Hopefully the audio and the video are coming through good. You guys let me know. The introduction to your video was awesome. Thank you for sharing. Oh, great. Thanks, Sarah. Let me know how the audio and video is. How I like to do this is I love to read every single comment. I like to say hello to everybody who says hello to me. And then I like to say hello to everybody who's afraid or doesn't like to chat in the open chat. So hello, and thank you guys for being here as well today. Do not feel obligated to comment. If you just want to hang out, read the comments, and see the answers to the questions that I try and come up with, by all means, do that. That's cool too. If I have missed your comment, do me a favor and type it again, all in caps. If I've actually gotten to it before I read it again, I'll just skip over it. It's not a big deal. I just want to make sure I get everybody's questions or comments answered if I possibly can. With that said, I saw that Genova was in here like way early. I mean, I set this thing up and I think Genova was in here at like 1 o'clock. I hope you are doing well. Genova wanted to know, do I have time change in Alaska for spring forward? Yes, we do. But as I alluded to down below with Brady G kind of commenting back and forth there before the live started, I despise daylight savings time. It is the biggest waste of time and effort. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant, but not too much. The only reason why we have daylight savings time is because people spend more money. It's an economic thing. It has nothing to do with what it was originally set up for, which was productivity. And I'll never forget. I've seen and there's an old adage that I've seen forever, for years on it, and basically it's like an old Indian saying that only a white man would think that he could cut off the bottom of his blanket and add it to the top of his blanket and have a longer blanket. It does not change the hours of daylight. It just changes where the daylight is by hours, by an hour. And in Alaska, like I was saying, if we're going to have 18 hours of sunlight, really, do we really need to change the clock? So yes, we do have daylight savings time up here. Elva, how are you doing down in the Bahamas? It is awesome to see you today. Glad you can make it. Joseph, how you doing, brother? Good to see you as well. Happy Sunday to you. Brady, welcome, my friend. It is good to see you today. Sarah Boss, glad you could make it this evening. And then we got back into where Brady and I started talking about this. So we're 1 hour difference from the Pacific time zone, like 4 hours different from the East. So if you guys are in the East right now, anybody who's on the East Coast, it's 3:03 p.m. right here in Alaska. So, yeah, that's whatever the difference is, that's what it is. I don't really do the math. I always try and state Pacific when I'm going to go live because if I don't state Pacific, well, if I do Pacific, then everybody can kind of do the math from there, right? I'm looking down here and good. There's no comments here saying that they can't hear me. And then Brady was saying that he thought Alaska didn't have it. Or did we start? And my reply is no. So since I've been here in Alaska, since I've ever been in Alaska, they've had daylight savings time. So even back in like 1998 when I first got here. But there's always been a big push to change it and get rid of it. But Juneau wants it. And Juneau's the state capital because they say it's hard to do business if our times are that different. And I call shenanigans on that because if you're doing international business on the stock exchanges internationally, then you're up 24/7 a day anyway, right? I mean, you're basically, when the Japanese market's open, are you asleep or are you on those markets according to whatever their time is? So it's just, I don't know why they struggle and they fight it, but in order to get it changed, from what I understand, the state has to want to change it, has to agree to change it. then they have to apply to the federal government for the federal government to actually verify the change. And I think that has to do with shipping and airlines and all that other stuff. So I don't think the federal government's ever said no to it. But yeah, so it's not just something a state can arbitrarily one day do. But we would like to. We would like to get rid of it. And I'm drinking a tea today, and normally I don't. I mean, I guess I have been telling you guys. It's this stuff. It's Lapsang Souchong, right? And so I thought, wow, this sounds interesting. I'll go ahead and give this a try. And I don't know what to think yet because it is one of the world's oldest and most distinctive black teas. It's smoked. So every time I take a sip of tea, it tastes like I'm cooking tri-tip. Brady, I think actually you're probably incorrect there. Nobody wants it. They just need to get rid of it. Most women I know, including my daughters, love it. They love the daylight later in the afternoon. But when it gets to summer, it doesn't matter anyway. The days get long anyway. But yeah, if nobody wanted it, I don't think it would exist. Charles and Annalyn, good to see you. How are you doing today? Blueberry Bog, welcome. Good to see you. And you made it. You're early. Awesome. And that's the end. That's the end of my daylight savings rant. There is no time change in the Philippines. There's a lot of states now that don't have a time change anymore either, which is awesome. BLR, it is great to see you. Glad you can make it today. Great intro. Matt in Minnesota waving a hand. Thanks, Matt. Greatly appreciate it. So the intro today, I actually went through before we went live today. I re-edited everything. I moved some pictures around so they made more sense, and I got rid of the duplicate that I had in there. I like how that one looks. So that'll be the intro going forward for the rest of the lives, which will take us into May. So we're in March now. Heads up, probably not going to be live next Sunday. St. Patrick's Day, I think I'm going to take the day off. I think I'm going to embrace my Irish heritage next weekend, and I'm probably going to get out of the cabin and go do something. But yeah, more than likely, we're not going to be live next weekend. But yeah, I wanted to get that intro set up, and we'll probably be live into the first or second week of May. Then after that, we'll be done again until next October, I would imagine at the earliest, because I'll be getting really, really busy. And, you know, for those not aware, I get a real internet issue. Once the tourists start to get here and the fishing starts to go crazy, everything we do down here is based off of cell phones pretty much. And when those cell phone towers get backed up like that, there's just the lag is just terrible. I can't really do this. Jonathan Davis, welcome, my friend. It is good to see you today. Mike McKinley, how are you doing this fine day? Yes, Jonathan, everything is awesome. Thumbs up. Greatly appreciate that. If you do give a thumbs up during the live, it's great for the channel, and it suggests the live to other people who may be just surfing around YouTube. In my lives, I don't have any restrictions as far as you can comment the minute you're here. You don't have to be subscribed to my channel. You can leave a comment, and just hopefully we keep it clean and keep it friendly. I generally don't have any problems with that. Sarah Boss, the introduction to your video was awesome. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. Philip W. Ryder, how are you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. Ward! Good to see you, Ward. Deck's all clean, Ward. I got 2 chairs out there. I got a little table in between ready to sit there and have beers as soon as the weather gets right. Mike, hello, Sean. Congratulations on all the hard work on the inside of the cabin so far. Thank you. It hasn't, you know what? It's not hard work. The hard work always happens outside. It's been more brain-racking work on the inside, and now, so the video that you're going to see next week, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not going to see much in the way of actual work. It's me getting ready for the next project, and I think I'm going to bite off the cabinet project. I think I'm going to start building cabinets. So it's getting tools together, it's getting stuff together, it's getting my mind wrapped around how to do it. That's the hardest part of the inside detail work that I'm doing right now is the brain work behind it. The easy part's actually just doing it once I figure it out. But the hardest part is figuring it out. Sunshine, welcome. Good to see you. I hope you are doing well. Villamai, Alaska, what's happening? At the remote cabin, very poor connection on your end. Can't tag anyone. That's cool. He's saying hello to everybody, guys. So taking it like that. Angie! Happy pointless time change day, right? For those that don't know, Angie does live up here as well. She's my neighbor on the other side of the river. We've known each other and worked together for quite a few years. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she agrees with me on that one. Drops Family Garden, how are you doing? It is awesome to see you. Moved to Arkansas. Holy smokes. Carol L., how are you doing tonight? Okay, this tea's growing on me. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Yep, Arizona knows how to do it. Not at all. I think it was Indiana that had like one section of the state that just said, "Nope, we're not doing it." Okay, Sarah, thank you very much. If I knew how to put if I knew how to put like a survey together in here, if I was like real tech savvy on lives and knew how to put the survey together, I would have done that, just so I could match it all up. And there's somebody down here I need to comment on. 1 second. I'll get right to you in a minute, guys. Matt AK, what's happening? Yep. Cakes Rocks. What good? I'm not alone in this then. Ann O'Brien, how are you doing today? How are you all this week? Hope all are well, and greetings from the southeast coast of Ireland. And awesome to see you. Awesome to see you. We've got St. Patrick's Day coming up here, and I know it's an American holiday, really. But I was in Dublin for St. Patrick's Day in 2019, and they do know how to celebrate a good St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. They really do. Jay and Jen. Video good, audio good. Awesome. Okay, so Jay left a comment, and I'm going to address this in next week's video, that, hey, cover up those little wires, the little exposed wire that was on the bottom of my solar charge controller. And at the very end, he said, I don't want to be that guy. I want everybody in here to know that you are all more than welcome to, and I appreciate it when you are, in fact, that guy that tells me when I do something wrong. Just so you know, Jay, I was going to wait, and I literally stopped answering comments and said, you're right, and went in there and fixed that. So that is done, fixed, cleaned up. Wires are coming straight down. Be that guy anytime you can. I love the advice that I get on YouTube, and I am not an expert. I have never said I am an expert on anything. I might be an expert on baking. I might be an expert on some kind of cooking, a semi-expert on making beer and wine, libations, that kind of stuff. But when it comes to what I'm doing now, I'm a novice. I'm a complete novice. And especially when I veer off into areas that I've never done before, like cabinets, I have no idea. I've never made one before. Everybody says it's just a box. I go, well, okay, hopefully I can make a box, but I've never made one. Electrical, in this case, Jay is gone. And if you guys aren't following Jay and Jen, you need to follow Jay and Jen, because they're awesome people and you'll learn a lot from them. They are super cool. But in this case, Jay and Jen have been working on solar at their cabin forever, and Jay has a lot of tricks, a lot of ins and outs, and he had some great points. So don't ever be afraid to be that guy or gal. If you see me doing something that you're really questioning, why would you want to do that, or that might be a little dangerous to do, shout it out. I will never blow you up in a comment. If you leave that comment on one of my videos, I will appreciate it greatly. So Jay, thanks, brother. Greatly appreciate that. Ron Height, how are you doing, my friend? It is good to see you from northern New York in the Adirondack Mountains. Nice. Susan Adamsboro, how are you? Saying hi to me and the rest of the chat. Made it to the start. Nice. I like it. Steve Grounds, what's happening, brother? It's awesome to see you. Henry Leslie, Vermont, good to see you, my friend. Glad to have you here. MRJ, welcome. Afternoon, Sean. Jeff from Wyoming. Cabin looking better every day. Thanks. I appreciate that, man. I greatly do. I don't know that. I don't know that that's true, that the neighboring states have to change either. I just think that it's a state-by-state issue that states can opt in or opt out, at least when I read what it would take to get us there, because I really wanted to see how I could push that issue up here. And, when you live in a state like California, you can't really affect that much change. But when you live in a state like Alaska, where the decision on your local senator that's going to go to Washington, D.C. can be decided by 100 votes. It's a big deal. Your vote really matters in a small state like this. Kristen Grounds, how are you doing today? My time never changes here. It is 4 p.m. and sitting outside with a glass of wine while dinner cooks, and it's 78. Nice, nice. Philip W. Ryder from Missouri. I said hello before, but I'll say hello again. I tried some tea with a shot of Macallan. Yummy. When I drink my tea hot, I don't put anything in it. Same as my coffee. When I drink my coffee black because I like the taste of coffee. When I drink my tea, I drink my tea just as it is because I like the different tastes and flavors of tea. When I mix my alcohol, the only mixed drink that I will generally ever do at home is like a rum and Coke. I do love a good rum and Coke. Spiced rum is my favorite. And then when I order a cocktail, it's either a gin and tonic. If I'm out and about, it's either a gin and tonic or it's an old fashioned. I like a good old fashioned. For information, parts of Arizona and Hawaii have this. They have standard time. Okay, cool. I didn't know Hawaii did. I knew Arizona did, and I didn't know that about Hawaii. You have Twinings tea there. Nice. Yeah, Twinings is pretty good. You know, the thing I like about Twinings is Celestial seasonings too. I go down back and forth with those. Those are the herbals. Is the flavors are just awesome. Jerry Canadian, welcome, my friend. It is awesome to see you today. Finally got myself a handle on here. Bud Armstrong at Blueberry Bog 62. Awesome, Bud. Very cool. Destiny, Honey Kilted Commando. Like how the cabinet, nice, I appreciate it. The kilt makes an appearance again, and the kilt will be part of the show going forward. I dug it back out again, and the weather's just been so nice. I can't not wear it. Everybody saying hi to everybody else. Yep, you missed it, right? It was snowing today anyway, right? We had a light dusting of snow. Yesterday was absolutely gorgeous, just beautiful blue skies. And then I woke up this morning and I looked at my phone and I went, "What do you mean it's snowing outside?" And I looked and I had like a half an inch of snow on the deck. So it was just light snow all day long. But it's like 28 degrees Fahrenheit, so super warm. 68 inside upstairs and 62 downstairs. Haven't had anything growing from the planters yet, but I did pick up some more seeds today. So I picked up some red onions and I picked up some Utah onions. So these are red burgundy, and these are sweet Spanish yellow Utah jumbos. So I'm going to get those started this week too. I was having a hard time finding onions when I was in the orange store yesterday picking something up. I went, oh, I'm going to look at their seeds, and I found them sitting there. So, Lori Nolan from Nebraska, awesome to have you here today. No, Brady, the kids and the grandkids do not visit in winter. My oldest daughter doesn't really care for the cold. My youngest daughter would come up; she wouldn't care, but she's got a job. They have lives down there, you know. So if they're going to come up and visit, I would rather have them come up when we can get out and do stuff, and it would be much more fun when I can grill for them and that kind of stuff here. When we can go fishing, when we can go see Alaska. So yeah, I think my youngest is coming up this year in August, and we're going to go do the state fair with my granddaughter. It'll be fun. But I get down there every year anyway, too. What happened to my life? Why am I watching the Oscars? TV off. I have not watched the Oscars. I think the last time I watched the Oscars, John Wayne was on it, and it was like his last big appearance ever on the Oscars before he passed away. But yeah, I don't watch that stuff. The movies I generally like never win. I like entertaining movies, and mostly, you know, Hollywood doesn't give those awards to those kind of movies. At Sean in Alaska, we're finally painting our kitchen cabinets now. Nice, very cool. I've decided on what material I'm going to go with and what kind of finish I'm going to go with on the cabinets. So I'm pretty excited about that. Just at Rain Dance Bushcraft, good to see you, brother. Listening while you wash up after supper. Very good, my friend. Very good. Michigan Daffodil, good to see you. You're never late. You show up whenever you need to. That's good. Oh, you have a fever, horrible coughing and aching. Ah, no. Well, I hope you get over it soon. Get yourself plenty of rest. I hope you get over it soon. Smiley, how are you, lad? It's good to see you. Got us a tattoo, Smiley. Might want to check out the dovetail joint jig for drawers in the cabinet. Makes a nice strong joint. I might check that out. Most of what I'm going to do, I probably won't do that on this project, because most of what I'm going to do is going to be Craig jig stuff, pocket hole stuff again, because it works so well and it's such a strong joint. Philip says, I don't like the time change at all. I don't like dark all the time. Was stationed on Adak Island. It was light all the time. I'm a morning person, so I enjoy watching the sunrise. But I also like seeing the sunset. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't like the changing back and forth. Okay, so what we're on now is the made up time, and then what we were on last week is actually standard time. So now we're on daylight savings time, DST. I don't like the change, and I've read a lot about it. And like I said, I didn't want to go on a rant on this, but if you want to know the negatives of daylight savings time, just type in a Google search, why is daylight savings time bad? And you'll see a whole bunch of reasons why it's not really even a good thing to do. Jess, I'm looking forward to the St. Patrick's weekend like we look forward to death. I was going to say, man, Sunday we're playing for like 12 hours on top of the regular gigs on Friday and Saturday. So Jess, for those that don't know it, Rain Dance Bushcraft is in a Celtic band, and a great band too. So you need to check it out because he sent me a CD and it's just awesome music. So it's a dreaded holiday for him. Like when I was a baker, Thanksgiving was a dreaded holiday for me because all I did was bake like a mad dog, pumpkin pies, dinner rolls, all this stuff that goes with desserts. And it was just not a fun holiday for me. St. Patrick's Day is that way for Jess. Sarah Boss, that is why we do the lives so we can learn from each other. I've learned more, listened to a lot of these live chats in the last few years. I agree. Lives are not only do they get you one-on-one with the person so that when you were watching a video, maybe you didn't want to try and type out the whole comment, you could just ask it here and get an answer right off the bat from, basically from the horse's mouth. But the people in the side chat over here, you could ask a question and you probably have 5 or 10 people give you a suggestion on how to do something or where to look to figure out how to do something. And to me, that's why lives are so awesome. Good job, Sean, to listen to the advice from off. Yeah, Jay and Jen are awesome people, man. I think they may have saved you a potential cabin fire. That was actually his comment, too. Basically, I want you to think of it the way that Jay explained it to me, and it didn't dawn on me, right? And I'm going to use keys to explain this to you. It's so important that literally when I start next week's video, I start out with that because it was huge. So when you have a car battery, right, I'm going to use this as any kind of battery, right? You've got a positive terminal and a negative terminal. You have 2 terminals on the battery, and they're like opposite ends of the battery. So there's really limited chance that you're going to make a connection between this side and this side. But when you're going into the solar charge controller, you go from being on opposite sides of the battery to being, let's see if I can do this here, that far apart. Okay? So it becomes a lot easier then for you to make that cross connection from positive to negative if you have exposed wire. And I had a great deal of exposed wire. I have 0 exposed wire now. But you don't want to do that because basically you're going to melt down your solar charge controller, and you're going to melt down your battery, and you're going to cause a fire. And the minute I got that or that message and I looked at it, I went, oh no, I got to fix this right now. I'm new to electrical. Do not do this the way I do things. Wait for the video or 2 afterwards so that I can explain to you how I screwed it up and did it wrong. Curmudgeon, Robert, what's happening, brother? It's good to see you. You've been baking like a mad dog. I've been seeing some pictures of some yummy food coming out of your place, man. If you guys are not following Curmudgeon, you need to because awesome channel, awesome guy. John Feeney, what's happening, lad? Good to see you. Awesome to have you here today. We have a lot of guests up here, so you have not much chance to catch the lives. Have to take this week's guest on the tracks very soon. Nice. Okay. Yeah, not a problem at all, man. I saw that you had a guest. That's very cool. Crazy time of the year for it, but right, it's nice. It's just fun to have folks visit. Actually, I really appreciate folks visiting more this time of year than summer. Folks that I haven't seen in a while because you can do a lot of one-on-one time. During summer, you're just so busy. You're crazy busy. But I'll take my kids anytime I can get them. No, we don't want to do that. That needed to happen this weekend. We want the time to stay the regular standard time. Joe Montano, welcome, my brother. It's good to see you. Sorry I'm late. You're watching Starlink launch stream. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this was funny. I saw a couple of posts on Facebook this morning. Hope everybody changed their clocks right. I have one clock that actually needs to be changed other than my truck, and it's the easiest clock in the world to change in the truck. Everything else I have is electronic. It changes itself, which is super awesome. So like my computer right now, the time is right. My cell phone, the time was right. Everything was 100% right except for this, which it didn't really matter, right? I don't care if this was right or not, but the clock in the truck so that I know if I'm going to be late to work or not. That was important. John, welcome. Good to see you. Glad to have you here today. Trudy Cron, welcome. Awesome to have you here today. How's your indoor seeds coming along? You've got a pot of chili cooking for dinner tonight. Another great video this week. Thank you very much. So I haven't got any. Basically, I planted those seeds on Monday or Tuesday. That's how long I was recording to get enough to put a video together this week. So nothing's popped up yet. I'm going to give it a week or so, and it's a little bit cool here right now. Some of these I may have jumped the gun on, but that's okay. I'll transfer them over. But yeah, so far everything looks good. I don't have any. Everything's still moist. I'm still getting the condensation. I love those closed terrarium type containers because it keeps that moisture just locked in. So the moisture evaporates, it sticks up on the top, and then it drops back down. It kind of like almost rains in there. I love those little jiffy planters and peat pots. Ruby Jackson, welcome. Glad you can make it today. Late to the party, but you made it. That's fine. We'll start the party now. Oh, God. Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Now, that is some sipping whiskey. My oldest daughter, loves Screwball. I've had it once, and it's pretty incredible. It does taste like peanut butter, but I tell her all the time, you know what? You need like a bar of dark chocolate so you can take a bite of dark chocolate and then sip some of that peanut butter whiskey, and then it's like you're drinking a Reese's peanut butter cup. Just woke up to a huge dump of snow this morning. Should be the last night. We're kind of there too. So next Saturday, when I was looking at the long range forecast, because I always kind of do that at the beginning of the week here, we're looking at mixed rain and snow. But our coldest day was Saturday morning, and that was 2 degrees above zero. And we're not getting that. We're not getting to the single digits again. It doesn't look like it. Looks like we're going to stay in double digits or higher for lows going forward, which is nice. Winter sunset 3 p.m.-ish, summer sunset 11 p.m.-ish. Time changes are pointless for sure. They are. Not all countries do the time change on the same day. I think some countries also skip it entirely. I think you're right too. I believe it actually started in England. It was an English lord that did it originally, and then Benjamin Franklin was responsible for it in the United States. He really pushed for it for productivity. But like I said, the more I read about it, the more it seemed that it was about, it became about economics, and people spend more money from this point till the end of daylight savings time. They spend a great deal more money shopping, buying things in the store. And that's one of the reasons why we do it here. Definitely, John. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. That is awesome. I saw your message. I commented back on it. I'm kind of excited. I love when I get stuff. When viewers send me anything, I love it. So I had one viewer that sent me, I've got that green Cabela's sweater / sweatshirt that I wear all the time. It's kind of like my nightwear now. I wear that all the time, and I had a viewer send that to me. She actually works for Cabela's, and she said, look, it's damaged. You can do what you want with it. You can burn it. You can do whatever. But, I thought maybe you could use it. I love that kind of stuff. It's awesome. What are the Oscars? That's the guy that lives in the garbage can on Sesame Street? That's who that is, I think. Jess, I went to film school, and I still don't give a rat's arse about the Oscars. Just scrolling through, seeing if I got to go here. Oh, man, if he's answering back in Gaelic now, I definitely was. That was a while back. I'm a bit behind here. I got to get caught up. John, daily savings was put into play by England. That's okay. To save energy for the war, which has changed in England. It actually happened much sooner than that. It was before we had electricity. And again, I think it was for productivity. Look it up. I don't take my word on it, but I just recall reading that at one point. Smiley, I was a professional baker for years. I owned a bakery. I grew up in a bakery, and I don't do it professionally anymore, but I like to dabble with it at home when I can, when I have an oven. I don't really have an oven right now. I'm still working on that. But as soon as I get one back, I'll be baking all my own bread again. I'll be done with buying commercially baked goods. I'll just bake it myself when I want it. Looking through here. Oh, there we go. Just as saying right now, we're also on Spotify and Apple Music and blah, blah, blah. If anyone's interested, the band is called Squid Jigger, and they're awesome. They're a ton of fun. You guys should go check them out, and you maybe download a little bit. if you can, from Apple Music, download some tracks and play them on St. Patrick's Day, because I think you would greatly enjoy them. I know I do. I have the CD in the truck, and I'll be playing it all week this week. Yeah, so I was smart enough to do that. I was smart enough to make sure that I'm keeping my color coding right on my wiring. Robert's saying I always check polarity on wires before I plug them in. And then doubly careful to make sure that positive was going to positive, was going to positive, was going to positive, or the positive was going to positive, negative was going to negative. One of the points that Jay brought up that was awesome in his comment was you want those lines to come straight down so that they don't have a chance of crossing over. And mine were a mess. And even after I talked about making sure you keep the lines nice and neat, mine were a mess. And it's a work in progress, but don't make those kind of mistakes, because they can cost you a lot when it's all said and done. Not necessarily the injury part, but you could lose a lot of what you have done if you do electrical wrong. You could also get injured, but working with 12 volts at this point, basically I'm going to probably get zapped, and that'd be about it. But it would do a lot more if it crossed that over. But yeah, I definitely made sure I had those right. Bill, have a great day if you're still around, man. I hope you enjoy yourself out at the cabin. I've kind of discussed little bits and pieces of what's on the project list for this summer, and maybe I'll put that in this video for next week as well. I'm at a point during the year where it's difficult to start a project and be able to complete it before the inside-outside thing, right? Because we're starting to get more stuff going on outside, more workable weather outside. So I'm actually bouncing back and forth doing stuff in and out. So I'll probably put that in this week's video, because that would be, I think, interesting to a lot of folks. The one project that I would really like to make sure I get done before, well, the one room I really want to make sure I get done before I get too much into summer is I want to get the kitchen complete. So I want to get at least the lower cabinets in with countertops. I want to get a refrigerator and a stove in the kitchen. And then I would feel very comfortable if that's all I got done in the cabin, if that's all I got done inside before summer hit, because obviously I've started plants, so the garden's a priority for this year. I want to move the chicken coop back into the woods, get them a nice bigger coop, get a nice covered run area for them. And then the bigger chicken coop will have kind of like Simple Living Alaska did, where they built that little storage room inside. I want to do that as well, so that maybe I would walk into the coop, and just to the right, like they did, would be a storage room where I can keep all their feed and all their stuff that they need. But I could walk in and clean that coop from a standing position, as opposed to climbing into the other coop that I got. And I'd like to get some more chickens. I don't know if I'll do that this year or not. Mine seem to be laying pretty well right now. So new chicken coop, fix the stairs, fix the deck, because I have some issues on that. Finish the deck railing and everything, get that done. The garden, get that all fenced in and get that all planted and worked in. And then I'd like to build a smokehouse this year. So I'd like to get that done early, so that when July comes and the salmon come in, I can smoke a ton of salmon. So yeah, that's kind of what I got on the list right now. There'll be some more. There'll be some outside work on the cabin itself, getting some things that I realized this year were not where they needed to be going into winter, that I'll get them fixed up this year before we get into the next winter, so that I don't have to deal with that again. Isn't Squid Jigger's #1 song called The Seminole Boreal, an original song, I understand? Nice. She's messing with Jess. CK, how you doing, my friend? It's good to say thanks. The chuck roast was delicious. I ate that for dinner Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I had chuck roast 4 nights in a row. But I had it different ways. So the first 2 nights I had it as chuck roast. I think the third night I did it as a sandwich. And the fourth night I had like a hamburger bun, and I did it like pulled pork, but it was pulled beef. It was yummy. Oh, okay. So yeah, that'll work, Smiley. You're catching me earlier because you guys don't do what we do. That was it. The apple fritters you made. That was the most recent one I saw. MRJ wants to know, am I still doing an addition this summer? I don't. It's probably not happening this summer. It'll probably be next year, but it will be probably no later than next summer, because I have too many other things, that I want to do around the property this year, And B, I want to spend some time out in Alaska. I want to go over to Seward and go catch the first run of the sockeye salmon over there. I want to catch the second run of the sockeye salmon here on the Kenai. I'd like to go to the other side of the inlet and maybe do some silver fishing or some clamming over there. So I want to get out and enjoy more of Alaska also this summer. And the last couple of years for me, I have been locked on this property, and not that I have been unable to get out and enjoy it, but I've just felt so locked into getting the stuff done here that I want to get out and see more of Alaska. That's why I moved here. Destiny, Sean, what's the usual temperature difference between the downstairs and the upstairs in your cabin with the heat on in winter? Right now it's about 6 degrees, so it runs anywhere from 6 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Not much of a difference. It's kind of nice. When the wood stove's in, that's the other project I'll get done this year. But when the wood stove's in and it's generating heat, I'm going to definitely have to have a ceiling fan because it's going to get way too warm up there. I'm sleeping with the window open every night now. Trail Camp Pete, what's happening, my friend? It is good to see you. Cheers to you as well. Oh, no. The 68 degrees was the inside temperature of the cabin. Outside right now, we're at like 28 degrees. So you're warmer than we are. Darwin, welcome. Good to have you here. You have to keep resubscribing. I wonder why. That doesn't make any sense. I can count on one hand the number of people who I have banned from the channel for one reason or another, and usually it's because of comments that I just do not accept. I would not accept them anywhere. So it's not me. I don't know what's going on. MRJ says, Sean always wanted to go to Alaska, never got freight up there, or Hawaii. So I take it you're driving. There is freight that comes through Canada all the time that comes up here. I don't know if they switch to Canadian drivers and then switch back to American drivers when they cross the border. I don't know how that works. I made a vanilla pecan keto cake with almond and coconut flour. It's cooling on the counter. That is not right. You're going to rub that in. Warren, you got to tell me how that tastes, brother. You definitely got to tell me how that tastes when you're done. $10 J. Hello, my least favorite day of the year. I'm not alone in this. That surprises me. I have to check my subscription as it seems I get unsubscribed with me doing anything. I don't know what causes that. I know that happens to me on occasion. So what'll happen with YouTube is every once in a while they'll go through and they will purge subscribers from channels. And usually the channels that the subscribers they're purging are people that haven't watched that channel in a while. Because, I'm probably like the rest of you guys. I bet you I'm subscribed to 100 channels, but I probably only watch 10 religiously. So every once in a while, I'll say, whatever happened to that channel? And I'll look and I'm unsubscribed. So I think that that's part of it. If you get busy with life and you haven't watched certain channels for a while, you'll get booted out. So if you haven't seen me for a couple of months because you've been busy doing something else or you went down another path on YouTube, then I think YouTube could do it itself. But it's nothing I do on my end. All I can say is just double check. I'm live every Sunday and I have a video every Friday. So if you don't see something from me on Friday, go back and look because chances are you got booted for one reason or another. Raquel, how are you doing today? It's awesome to see you. Philip, have a great day, my friend. If you're still here, have a great week. Al, what's happening? The man on the street. Good to see you. I would love to see you do a sourdough loaf. Definitely. I did. I've done some sourdough. I have some videos of sourdough. Oh, and just a heads up, and I'll post it on the community tab. If you want to make traditional Irish soda bread, I have a recipe and a video on that. It's the easiest thing you will ever make, and it is delicious. Spotted dog is what I make, and just yum, yum, yum. So I'll make sure I put that on the community tab. But Smiley, back to your comment. I've made sourdough. I made a starter from scratch in the trailer. Baked, had a couple of failures because I'd never really done a natural leavened bread before. Everything I've done before has been with commercial yeast. But by the third attempt, it was absolutely gorgeous. So check it out. I have done it, and the recipes are there, and I will be doing it again. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Yeah, when you start messing with 48 volts, it's a whole different story than Sean's little 12-volt system. Lipstick Lodge, good to see you. How are you doing today? Wow, you're going to be 45 degrees? Oh, I'm jealous. That first day in the 40s would be awesome. Beto, good to see you, my friend. Awesome to have you here today. Yeah, that's what I want to do with the chicken coop. It's going to be 59 on Tuesday. Keep rubbing it in, Mike. Keep rubbing it in, man. Sliding barn doors would look really nice on the bathroom and pantry, so says Warren. Yes, that's what's going there. And you know what's going to go there, actually? It's going to be one sliding door, right? So it'll cover the pantry unless you use the bathroom. Then you'll slide it over and it'll be the bathroom. Because I think that would be the easiest way to do it to make it look nice. So the pantry will always be closed unless somebody's in the restroom. You know, I like that whole thought on it. But that's kind of been my plan from day one on that. I'm trying to catch up right now. Mike McKinley, my father was an Italian baker and cook chef. I used to cook just like him. Italian foods, no, I can't do that much anymore. I used to watch him do everything. I love cooking. I enjoy it. It's difficult. It's a pain in the neck to cook for one person, especially when I like to do big meals because it's you make the same mess cooking for one person that you make cooking for 10. And I know that doesn't sound like it should be that way, but the only difference in cooking for one person or 10 people is you have to clean more plates for the people that you cook for. You still have to clean all the same pots and pans for the one person. So it's a hassle to do, but I really enjoy cooking. You've done so much of the property since you purchased it, Sean. It's just amazing to see. You know what? It blows my mind all the time, especially when I put together stuff like the intro that I did for this. And then when I did the one video that I have, you know, man with zero experience builds a cabin in Alaska, I still get blown away. Because a lot of times I'll think, man, I haven't got anything done. I should get more done. I should be able to get more and more and more. But when you consider that 99% of everything that I've done with cash, I'm completely, when I watch those, I get completely blown away at what one person can do. That is, so I put an offer in on the tile for the base. So I got to get the base tiled first, then I can do the wall behind it, and then I can put the stove in. And then I'll run the pipes this summer because I still have to put the drip edge on the gable ends on the front and the back. I have that sitting here. I just didn't get it done. It really wasn't that necessary. I didn't have any leaks. So I'll need to have the scaffolding put up for that anyway when I do it, which I still have over here. And then so it'll happen this summer for sure. But I'll have a wood fire. I'll have the wood stove installed and the first wood fire in there before winter gets here next year. Yep, Todd, I think I just answered your question too. Yeah, right? Go have some fun. We plan to do the same property. Exactly. And you guys, man, have done so much there. It's just amazing. I cannot say enough. If you guys do not follow Jay and Jen, you need to follow Jay and Jen and follow them from the beginning, because I think that Jay and Jen, or that Sean and Jay having a construction company together in the first couple of years that he was doing that and I was doing this would have been a comedy routine that would have lasted 5 seasons easy on television, because the mistakes that we made. Jay fell off a roof. Sean fell a tree on his truck. I mean, so many parallels, but such great fun. Ray, good to be back with you. Feeling good between chemo treatments. Right on. You got this, Ray, man. You got it. Slay that thing. You got it. Tinker's wife, how are you? It is good to see you. It does. YouTube has a lot of quirks, but it's the people that I've met via YouTube is just incredible. I cannot say enough good things about it. It's been a super awesome experience for me. Hey, Sean, if this is an earlier spring, maybe you'll have more time to enjoy it. Yes, exactly. And do the to-do. And it looks like it's going to be an earlier spring this year. Todd, neighbor, cross the meadow. Hi, Todd. Scroll through here. Oh, I love brown soda bread too. The brown soda is delicious. Nice and dense with nice, good. For me, I'm not a Kerrygold guy. I've done this. I've discussed this before. I like a good American sweet cream butter. Just, oh, yum, yum. Destiny, be grateful for your land of cabin, Sean. Was just checking out Muskoka Properties. That's only a Russian oligarch. I know, it's crazy in some areas. Keep looking, though. I think you're going to see some real estate corrections in the next couple of years because the prices can't keep going up. This is nuts. It's absolutely crazy. CK wants to know, is September a nice time to go to Alaska? Less mosquitoes, less tourists, cooler temps. You might run into snow. Usually we're guaranteed our first snowfall before Halloween here. So mid to late October. But September can be crisp, but it's beautiful. If you're coming here to fish, a little bit late to go fishing. You might catch some silvers, but that's about it. You'll get on the tail end of that run. August. August is the month that I tell people, if you want to get up here, you can still fish for salmon. You're not going to really be fishing for sockeye, but a decent silver run in August. The weather is relatively nice. You get cool evenings. You get nice days, generally speaking, if we have good weather. And the tourist amounts are way down. But you can also catch the state fair, which gets you a chance to see the huge vegetables that Alaska grows. It's awesome. Bill at the Lone Moose, what's happening, my brother? It is good to see you. 24 degrees Fahrenheit outside at Algonquin Park. MRJ, I don't know what I'm doing in the rest of the cabin yet. That's been the big... I can't really decide yet. I don't want to get too much wood. I know that sounds crazy, but if you get too much wood, I think you darken the inside of a place, unless you lighten it up like I did in the kitchen, right? Or I put a nice light cover seal on it to keep the wood a natural color without it getting dark. I don't know yet. I got a couple ideas in my head, but I'm not sold on anything yet for the inside of the cabin. Scotty, Backyard Barbecue, what's happening, brother? Good to see you. Outside, got your barbecues ready. He posted a picture today of his backyard in Wisconsin with no snow, which blows my mind. All of his barbecues were out and happy. Yep, exactly, Bill. Right? Work out an arrangement for dinners once a week for sure, man. We'll get together and break bread once a week. I don't have a problem for that. Michael Roos, good to see you. Awesome that you could be here. You made some sourdough rye today. It took me a while to get the good starter going. That's what I actually use for my starter. Is I use organic rye flour, because organic rye flour has more natural yeast on it than other organic flour. So I use it organic. I think I got my starter recipe off of King Arthur flour, kingarthur.com. But I love rye. I'm a huge rye fan. Yep, definitely. Scrolling through, I'm trying to catch up, man. I can't seem to catch up, and I only got 9 minutes left here. Well, 10 minutes actually, right? Longer than that. Now we got 12 minutes left. Hey, you can park your man cave in my driveway, buddy, if you bring your grills with you, or you just use mine. I don't care. As long as you're cooking, you guys got to check out Scotty's videos too. The man can cook. So Charles and Annalyn are asking, will I be installing doors on the kitchen cabinets? Yes. All my kitchen cabinets will have doors. And maybe that's the other thing I'll walk through on the video for next week, is kind of my plan of how I'm going to lay out the cabinets in the kitchen. I'm just worried about lower cabinets and getting those done. Once I get those finished, then I can work on uppers once I decide where I want them and how tall they can be. So I've had a couple of comments about how tall am I, because man, I could just reach up and touch my ceiling, like right here. That's a lowered ceiling. It's only 7 feet tall. I'm 5'10", 5'9", right in there. So I'm not that tall. But I want to make sure I have the lowers in and everything done, and I know what I'm doing before I work on the uppers, because they're going to be. I have a plan for what I want to do with my uppers on the very back wall that I think is going to be pretty awesome. So. Oh, there's the other thing on the list for this year. I got to build a woodshed. Yes, I have to build a woodshed this year. So yeah, that's on the list this year too. And obviously there's going to be a ton of tree cutting around here, because for those that don't know, we've had a huge beetle kill incident in Alaska with this Japanese spruce bark beetle. So I've got a bunch of dead trees on the property. It's just firewood. And I'll clear it out and I'll replant it with some other local tree that I can get to grow here. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of tree falling. There's going to be the woodshed will also be built. Woodshed, and I'm going to plan on doing one end of it with storage for stuff like the the snow blower where I can keep it out of the weather, that kind of stuff. Big Family Expedition, welcome. Glad you could be here today. Kevin Wright, awesome to see you from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Got a little bit of snow last night. That's weird or what? Late 30s, 40s. Nice, crazy. Broke my glasses in half. Been wearing readers for a while. Interested driving at night in the rain. I'm using magnifying glass right now. I had prescription glasses and I lost them. I have no idea where they went. These cost $10 for two. They're readers. I don't need to wear glasses when I drive. I haven't gotten to that point. But I won't go back to an eye doctor for a while now because those prescription glasses were very expensive. I commiserate with you not liking to cook for one. It's almost 5 years since Ben passed, and I'm still trying to find a way to make it enjoyable like it used to be. The company of others also adds more joy. It does. And to me, there is nothing more special than having big meals with families and friends. It doesn't even have to be family. It could just be a ton of people get together and cook a big meal. I love that whole feeling of sharing that kind of stuff with other people. To me, that is awesome. That's what I want to do, Smiley. I want to keep the inside nice and light and bright, especially because the winters are so dark. Richard Capel, good to see you, my friend. Awesome to have you. Take me fishing, Sean. So everybody comes to Alaska. They want to go fishing, right? It's awesome. Where am I at here? If I missed your comment, like I said, do me a favor, type it out again in all caps because I'm kind of scrolling through pretty quick. Oh, Ward says, see ya. I'll be up later this week. That's definitely, brother. Come on by. I'll be home all week. I enjoy them too. This is the fastest hour of my entire week. This is literally the fastest hour of my entire week. Looking forward to a video fishing trip, right? I know. I talked about that before, and I've just been getting busy doing some stuff and trying to finish some stuff up. Thank you very much, Jay. I greatly appreciate that, you guys. The thumbs up button helps huge, guys. It is awesome, and I greatly appreciate it whenever you click on that thing. Yes, John. You do have to worry about seasoning all of your firewood, but it's not that big of a deal when it's standing dead trees and it's been standing dead for a couple of years. It'll burn pretty quick. But yes, if you're cutting down trees that are not thoroughly dead and dry all the way through, you need to age that stuff for a year or two at a minimum before you can consider burning it. Brooke Trout, what's happening? Good to see you. Beautiful Venice, Florida. Just got home putting in mother-in-law's kitchen cabinets. Very cool. Hey, Scotty, throw your channel up, man. Oh, where's it at? Here, Sarah said that. Throw your channel up. Definitely throw your link up for your channel. You guys that are ops, throw your links up. I greatly appreciate it. I found my prescription glasses in a bag of turf a year after you lost them. I moved. Here's the problem: is I had a bunch of readers and I had a bunch of prescription glasses, and somehow they all got put in the same containers, and I don't know which one was which because I couldn't really see any better. They're bifocals, which is why readers work for me. I couldn't see any better out of any pair of glasses I had in there. That's crazy. $524. Ouch. The cake was awesome. My lovely bride takes care of me. See? Thanks, Warren, man. Greatly appreciate it. I knew we'd get a report from you. An honest one. Todd, take me bear hunting. Your man cave's on wheels. I haven't been bear hunting myself. I don't know. I'm not. I don't have an issue with anybody who hunts to hunt. I don't have an issue with that at all. But I personally don't harvest animals that I'm not going to eat. And I really don't want to eat a bear. So I probably will never go bear hunting. I would go bear hunting with someone else and just bring my camera and let them shoot. But I'm not. Yeah, that's not a thing for me. BTL Fabrication, how are you doing today? Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. I found my phone under a katakana. Where else would it be? Nice. I'm all caught up. JD, what's up, brother? How are you doing this fine, fine day? Awesome to see you, man. Very cool. I like it when I get caught up. Oh. When you get older, the stretches just get awesome. So what do I got going for this week? I think we discussed most of that. I picked up some new tools for the next big project. I don't have a table saw, so the tools that I picked up will step in as if I had a table saw, and I think that they're a pretty darn good value. So if they work, I definitely will be sharing it with everybody so that they understand what I did and why I did it, and how much more affordable this will be as opposed to having a table saw down the road. I wouldn't mind having a table saw. Table saws are nice for dado cuts, that kind of stuff, because I can't really do that. I guess I could do multiple runs with a skill saw, but if this works out, I think it'll be awesome. I think that it could save folks a lot of money doing it. The downfall about hunting bears, it's cold. Suzanne Sweet Kitchen, awesome to see you. Glad you can make it today. Kayak. I'm all kayak. Smiley says, I'm moving to Spain in 2 years for a bottle of wine. My God, I could live well there. Ah, Spain's beautiful. I've never been there, but the pictures I see of Spain are absolutely gorgeous. I could, and I like Spanish wines too. And I love tapas. I love Spanish food. I could enjoy myself in Spain, I think. MRJ, have yourself a great week as well. Didn't hear any cracking with the stretch, so that's good, right? Yeah. No sound effects. The speaker's not that delicate. Bill says, Sean, back in my Army days, I do a big barbecue for my friends and military buddies on Memorial Day weekend and again on Labor Day weekend. That would be fun, man. That would be a ton of fun. That's the one reason why I might consider it, because bear are very thick and fat. It's a chore to harvest. The meat can be greasy, but bear fat is awesome, awesome fat. And bear is the only one that I do that. I eat all the deer I kill here. And yeah, so I'm a huge venison fan. I'd like to go caribou hunting. I might actually put that on the list for next year. Maybe a caribou hunt / moose hunt would be fun. When it gets too hot in Texas, you'll come to Alaska. You work for food. I have a cousin who lives in Wollongong, New South Wales, Australia, and she keeps telling me, come down and see me in the winter. And I keep telling her, your winter is, or my winter is your summer. How hot does it get there? I go, I would melt. Kenai Castor, what's happening? You ever get a chance to hunt mushrooms in the spring? I have played around with it, but I do not know enough about it. So I need to go, if I'm going to go mushroom hunting, I need to go with somebody who knows which ones you can eat and which ones you can't eat. Because, you know, all of a sudden there'd be no more videos. One of my kids would have to post, Dad ate the wrong mushroom. So I definitely don't want to do that without somebody who's experienced. Wayne, good to see you, man. Awesome to have you here today from Ontario, Canada. We are about done, folks. Got a couple of minutes left. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching the videos, for the comments, especially the comments that, that saved me a lot of hassle and possibly my cabin, Jay. And definitely just for joining me on these Sundays, because I think they're a ton of fun. I really enjoy the heck out of them. It's not a chore. But with that said, next weekend, more than likely, I'm not going to do a live. I got some stuff that I want to do, and it is St. Patrick's Day weekend. Robert, though, over at Curmudgeon, will be doing a big St. Patrick's Day live with multi-channels. So, Robert, if you have that link handy, go ahead and post that in here. If not, you guys need to go over and subscribe to Robert, where you can hang out with them on St. Patrick's Day. Alone in Remote Alaska, Robert over at Curmudgeon, and a few other channels from Alaska will all be getting together and doing a live, which would be a ton of fun to watch. With that said, guys, I guess I'm going to head out of here. Dude, I'm doing all this myself, Todd. I'm having a total blast doing it alone. I get so many offers of help. It is incredible, and I love it. But the problem with that is that I don't ever have a set schedule for anything that I'm going to do. So I never know when I need the help until I actually need the help. That's it, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Have a great week. We shall talk to you all later. I'll see you next Friday with a new video, and then we'll be live again a week from Sunday. So not next Sunday, but the week after that, we'll definitely be live. Have yourself a wonderful St. Patrick's Day, and I shall talk to you guys all later. I am Sean in Alaska, and I am out of here.